Now, Roc Nation, though.
Ooh.
How did you find yourself over there with the Jigga Man and Roc Nation?
Man, let me see my NDA say I can talk about this. No, I'm kidding.
I feel that.
To be honest, I've signed so many NDAs throughout my career. Don't
even know if you even open up your mouth ever again.
But again, man, I have to say this. Love the Jay Brown. Even Tata for that matter, Desiree, Jay, the level of business that they're doing is insane.
Crazy.
Before walking in there, I was afraid, I'll be honest. I think even before taking the job, Benny Pugh called me and we had a conversation about it. I remember kind of telling Tata, I was like, man, I don't want to be the guy from Atlanta to fuck this up. So, it was, it's one of the most iconic companies of all time in music. So, a guy from Atlanta, Carver Homes Housing Project, walking into Roc Nation, that was a big deal.
That's real.
And a senior level management position at that. So, being able to sit in meetings with billionaires, watching them court Roc Nation to do business with them went a long way, and it went beyond music. It was meetings about other shit that I can't speak to, but the level of business that they do there, it's incredible for a black man from a housing project. I think Ty and Jay, they're from a housing project. Jay Brown comes from a different cloth, but those guys, these street guys, just like all of us. I ain't never been the street guy, but I come from it. So watching that shit gave me a whole new life.
That's what I was about to ask you though too. At the same time, you're over there at Roc Nation and you're saying that you're seeing billionaires courting them for their business and stuff like that. How did that change your perspective on the levels of success that a black man could reach inside of these industries, man?
I mean, let me know it's attainable.
Okay.
I mean, you could see it with LA, but even dealing with LA, it wasn't quite that. I mean, I was never around Puff, enough to see, his business and what he was doing. And down south, for some reason, those types of deals don't come down here. Or that type of business for guys in music. If you deal in business and you're a corporate attorney or, whatever type of entity you're in, you might actually have it in that space, but a guy that deals in, that made his money, that made his bones in music, to be doing multi-billion-dollar deals is unheard of. So it changed my business mindset. It changed my perspective. Actually, believe it or not, I probably made more, if not just as. Future was great. We made a lot of money together. Never questioned anything we've ever done. I love Future to death.
That's right.
And anybody that speaks negative about him, I will correct you in a heartbeat. The same way I will with Rico Wade.
That's right.
My time at Roc Nation did the same thing because it gave me a whole new perspective on how to do business, the level of it. I've probably made just as much money, if not more, since Roc Nation, but learning from how they did business than I did when I was working with Future. And we did well when I was working with Future. And you got to think, there was the early part of his career. We did a lot of great deals. We did a lot of short-term deals. We didn't do a lot of things that tied him up for a long period of time, which he was able to take the windfall of it and do a lot of business later on. But Roc Nation was eye-opening, to say the least. We did some great things over there too. Jaden Smith, we were able to do a lot of things to kind of move the needle as far as his career in music, outside of acting. Vic Mensa, we had a couple of gold singles over there with Vic. We did a great deal for Nicole Buss and did a deal with Needles. I think that actually project could have been considerably bigger than what it was. It's critically acclaimed, but there's a lot of things happen in the sense of after the fact. So I got fired from there too. So, but being fired from there, I got 4 phone calls within an hour to come to other companies, right? Like, hey, we want you to come work for us. The only difference was, man, and nothing, no disrespect to New York, I hated living in New York. Like, kind of being a Southern guy. It was funny, where I lived a couple of blocks from the office in Times Square. And my man Benny Pugh was like, hey man, we don't do this shit. Like, help me understand why you're paying that amount of money to live in the city.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man,
I'm trying to be close to work and I don't know where the hell I'm at.
Right. I want to be able to walk out my door, walk to the office, and walk back. I remember one day there was a snowstorm, and I called like, "Hey man, we gotta go to work today?" Him and Ty started laughing at me like, "If you don't bring your ass to this office." I'm like, man, we don't do that in Atlanta. In Atlanta,
a snow day is a snow day.
Yeah. So, that my kids didn't like it. You know, it just didn't work itself out for me. So I was glad to kind of go back home. So a lot of the entities that came to me, they were either New York or LA, and I wanted to stay at home. So I got a call from a gentleman named Emmanuel Zooms and my man Ken Matson, who I had done a little business with Nabby Roots. They called me about kind of helping create the urban division of 1RPM. They were doing music. They were doing urban music, but not at a level. Yeah. So, it was, hey, we got this distro company at the time. We kind of turned it into a full encompassing music entity now. And he had this great tech that he was doing. He was doing high level business, huge international footprint. Yeah. So I was intrigued by it. I went to Nashville, met with him. Then the rest is history. I've been there 6-7 years now.